Hello up there. Welcome to episode 6 of ATM To The Sky. Now, off camera, I did do a lot of things because we were getting backfilled on a lot of resources. I mean, I would say all of our osmium, our gold, and our iron was a lot more than the crimsite here. There were stacks and stacks and stacks of resources that I needed to deal with. And whenever I went in, I looked at using something called a modular router to get this going. It did take me a while to figure this out, with using a puller module and a distributor module in round robin. All those things I will explain in another episode once we move over to taking out of this chest. So all that will be explained. But what I did was I kind of set up a little. This is not our final product. This is just to get as much of this broken down as possible to throw into. Hopefully, we'll keep going with our AE system. So I've just got a bunch of mechanical squeezers up here that are rolling into these pipes that I did set a tag for. So then it only pulls raw materials. And that's another thing I'll explain later as well. If you don't just pull raw materials, once this actually gets completely taken out, it's going to start taking from the input. So I wanted to try to get as much resources as possible from this. And everything is running into a sag mill, which right now I am out of dark steel. So I did make dark steel. That'll be another thing we'll get into whenever we start going into Ender IO. But using these dark steel grinding balls, you're actually getting a lot more bonus for each item that drops in. So we're actually getting platinum a lot quicker, which platinum is going to mainly be coming from this chest over here from the deep slate. But I've had to shut all this off once again because everything is just running too quickly and these extractors can't keep up with everything. But for right now, we are just running an emerald furnace to basically get as much resources as possible. I was able to make the energetic alloys and the vibrant alloys, which we will get into in a later episode. Also, this right now is going to be our main setup that we'll have to break down all of the ores. We'll be using a crushing factory into an enrichment factory to be able to get as much output as possible. That's going to get worked on in a later episode once we get AE completely going. But for right now, our big thing is ancient debris. We need netherite ingots. We need a lot of netherite ingots. And right now, this is a good start. I would say it's a good start. And then we're going to take all these and throw them into our crushing factory. This, I did not set up an actual, there's no upgrades or anything else right now. So it should be outputting to the right. And it should be inputting. I wonder why that's not configured to... Output. Input. I might need to look at that. But we are choking on power like crazy. With everything that's running, this is filled up. 1 second later, it will not be filled up. But for right now, at least we're able to get netherite scraps, which is what we're going to need coming up when we start looking at setting up these item storage cells and deep cells from Applied Energistics. And we'll also need a netherite ingot just to make our loot fabricator, because that's kind of the start. So the end is one thing we're going to hit to get started with the hostile neural networks. because I want to basically get a prediction matrix to allow us to be able to get wither skulls. And funny enough, I was able to get a bunch of wither skulls from a trader that came by. So I took the necessary precautions and, you know, I gave him my emeralds. I wish I could get those back, sadly, but I gave him emeralds. He gave me wither skulls, and then I got rid of them the way that you're supposed to. So right now we're just going to kind of wait a little bit until we just get a bunch of netherite scrap going, and we'll get started with basically making our first netherite ingots. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll grab our netherite scrap. I'm just going to let that keep running for right now. And hopefully we got everything we need for some netherite ingots. God, those things are expensive. Those are expensive. Actually, these I'm going to toss in here, just so we have them. But hey, we've got our first round of netherite ingots, and we still have a bunch of scrap left, so we could grab another stack. Nice. We got a good start. 21 netherite ingots, I think, is a fair bit amount of good times that we'll be having. So I want to grab some glass panes and some clay, and then turn these into just clay balls, because we'll need those. Now, first thing we need to make is a simulation chamber, which I did already craft up a bunch of comparators and repeaters. I knew we were going to need them. I need some lapis, a little bit of redstone. And let's start with making the simulation chamber. So I need obsidian, panes, and ender pearls. So I've got panes on me. I need ender pearls, which we still got a good amount here. And obsidian. And we'll make ourselves our first simulation chamber. Now that we have enough stuff, we're going to go ahead and make our loot fabricator. Always forget. It's always got to be in that. Loot fabricator. We're also going to make ourselves a deep learner. Prediction matrices. We're going to need a good stack of these. We can go with that for now. And then our framework, smooth stone, should have right here. Now, I have not used this mod in quite a while, so it's all going to be a learning experience for us. So we can go ahead, we'll drop this stuff off. You guys can go back. Keep the netherite ingots. Now that I think about it, we're going to need a bunch of arrows once we go to the end. Grab a nice little stack. Iron and flint. And I'm kind of glad that we don't have to use steel to get our flint and steel. Because I know for a fact a lot of mod packs I've played before, it was technically you had to use steel to be able to make a flint and steel instead of just a piece of iron. Get rid of the panes. So let's go ahead. For right now, we're just going to set everything up here. So we have a simulation chamber and a loot fabricator. Please insert a data mile to begin the simulation. So what we need to do is we need to right click this on an enemy, which is going to be, we're going to use wither skeletons. And then we're able to start learning. I think that's how it works. deep learner? Does that give? So then we'll put our model in here into the deep learner. So then whenever we get the killing blows, we're able to use that to be able to basically farm items. I think we are going to need some food while we're out there. We can just grab apples. I could just cook up some potatoes real quick. Just so we have multiple sources of food. Because the way the end is set up is not like you've seen it in just vanilla Minecraft. So we've got our food. We've got that. We've got the learning. I think we've got everything to actually go to the nether. I did make a Celestia Gem bow and a Celestia Gem sword. Just in case. Because I have a feeling we're going to need those while we're out there. And hopefully, nothing bad goes wrong. So I do not have an island set up for another portal yet. I might just go back here and set one up. Just something super easy. I'm not too worried about falling or anything. Alright, we should be coming up on another fortress just over here. If I can get my coordinates right. Ricky the Doominator. And right now, I want to make sure that we are getting ourselves. Where is a wither skeleton? That's not super crazy far from. Okay, data model. Got what I needed. A terrible fortress. So with this model, I need to collect 6, so I gotta kill 6 of them. Okay. I don't think there's gonna be an easy way to do that. With all these. Ooh. I just want to make sure if I fly out. Or do I have to keep it like this? Maybe like this? Let's see here. Now, I'm wondering why that's not counting. Wouldn't it be per kill? And I've... There's something I'm not, I guess I'm not understanding about how that works. Fly back out here real quick, get some food. Data collected 0 of 6. So I need to do this. Maybe that's how. We'll try that. That's never fun catching on fire. Okay, I mean, I guess that works. I don't know if I have to keep that on me or not. Stir them up from here. It's all learning. All we're doing is learning. Upgrades to advance and 12 kills. So at least we did get the 1 tier. And I think we have enough that we can kind of keep going from this. So let's just get a few more. Oh, get away from those guys. Oh, don't hit me. Don't hit me. Well, at least we have a basic model going. I mean, I wish I did make a capture from just dire things, so then I can catch. Ooh, he's epic. Okay. All right. Let's we're gonna head back, and then we'll take this deep learning knowledge that we got. You know, I advanced to 9 kills. I just don't want to die, really. So I'm gonna head back, and then we'll get started with figuring out the rest of this to be able to get some wither skulls. So we made it back. I don't know if I could say in one piece. That was a little rough. That was just a little rough. But we should be able to take the data model out. With some prediction matrices. Energy levels critical. So can we just set up a simple... Do I have any cables? I got 2 cables. I don't think I have a flux point at the ready. Nope. Okay, that's just an absorption hopper. So let's get ourselves a flux point real quick. With a block of redstone. Should be able to get 2 out of that. Nope. Math is off today. Right now, we'll put them next to each other. I will separate this out later on. Can I begin simulation? System energy levels critical. Is it not able to accept that energy? That's a little strange. Are we not getting enough power? What if I change your priority to 2? Okay. So that's... I knew power was going to be an issue. It's always going to be a power issue for us. So we did get our first generalized nether prediction. Which... I'm going to have to figure out what I do with that. Let's see here. So we did complete all this. Whole lot of experience. Loot Fabricator is a machine that gets you sweet, sweet loot from mob predictions. When given power and a special mob prediction, you'll be able to choose which item you'd like to get from that mob's data map. Okay. Withers, Nether Stars, Zombies for iron, Ender Dragons for dragon eggs. So we're kind of waiting for... So then what do I do with this generalized? Another prediction. I mean, I guess we let this run for a little while. Sequence prediction failed. Okay. I guess we'll let this run and hopefully something good comes out of it, because I don't know how you get... Huh. Well, we're all here to learn. That's what we're here for. So I'm just going to let this run. And we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. I don't think I really have much inventory space for certain items, but, you know, hey. That's why we're going to be working on our AE system. So now that at least we set that up, we have that running. That's a good thing. So now we need to start looking at AE. I did do a few things off camera just to make it just a little bit easier, but I usually run with 5 inscribers. And then with those, I made my inscriber plates. Once I have the plates going, especially the silicone, is when we start making our printed calculation units, printed engineering circuits, and our logic circuits. So if we grab a stack of each with some printed silicone, we can kind of get started. So this one was the logic. So if we take printed logic, this, and redstone, get a little bit more redstone. Actually, I want to go ahead and turn off that. Okay. So in this one, we had calculation. So let's throw our calculation, printed silicone, and are you... I can't remember if you're supposed to be charged for the calculation. Hey, just redstone too. Is everything redstone and I'm not realizing it? Then you are going to be the engineer. Some silicone. And now we're starting to make our logic processors, our calculation processors, and our engineering processors. And there are no upgrades in these yet. So if we threw some acceleration cards in there, which uses the calculation, and some crystals. 4 go in a slot, but I say if we made 2, 4, 6, 8 to begin with. That might be a good start. So I need to get some diamonds and some... That should be everything to start. This. Oh. So throw 2 in here. Toss 2 in here. 2 in here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I want to save this over here. So that speeds up just a little bit more. Just so then we're able to get all the calculations that we need. Or all the processors that we need. which is going to start clearing out more of this. Oh, what was my reward? Charged. Okay. I mean, I would have went with something else, but that's okay. So then we also need to look at start making some cables, which is glass and Certus quartz dust. Make a simple setup for now. And then we can get ourselves some cabling. And that cabling, I want to actually cover it as well. So I've got... Did I not make... Yeah, why would? So let's get ourselves a couple of you. At least we made one dense. So we need a bunch more of you. So we have dense cables. And we've got our normal flux cables. You know what? We'll just make all of them. We're going to need cabling. So now that we got the cables done. Was that part of this quest line? Yes. So then we can look at cable anchors, the advanced smart cables. Moving forward. Now we need an ME controller and our terminals. So let's just click that off, and we'll click these two off right now. And then we'll look at the ME controller, which is a processor with Skystone. Luckily, we do have Skystone. I think it's... Was it the full block Skystone? How do we get Skystone? Oh, we smelt it. Okay. That's easy enough. We'll just throw in some Skystone, let that cook up, and then we'll look at ME drives. That's fairly easy to make. So ME drive out of the way, and then we can look at starting making our patterns, which I make a pattern encoding terminal, a crafting terminal, and a pattern access terminal. And we'll also be making patterns like crazy. And my space is now getting limited. But we should be able to make this ME controller. After I cook it again? Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting how they have that set up that way. But we're just getting a super simple setup going. ME controller. And now this is where we start running out of space. Magnet on so I can pull all these resources towards me. Go ahead and drop some things off. I think this chest, we can just set these presses in there for now. Oh, I guess that's not... Oh, it's full. Oh, okay. I didn't know I was going to be full on that. Let me controller out of the way. Now, to start this, we'd like a crafting terminal. So we need to make an ME terminal, which is going to need an annihilation core and a formation core. Which will need dust. Okay. And another quartz. See, this, telling you, everything be so much easier once we get this set up. And then I won't have to be doing this anymore. we'll just make 2 of those. We'll make 2 formation cores. So then we need quartz glass, glowstone, redstone, iron. Glowstone, redstone, iron, and quartz glass. Which we can get, I think multiple things use quartz glass. So first quartz dust. I do have over here. Out of space again. You know what? I might actually put you in that chest. Hopefully we now have some space. Nope. We're way running out of space now. This is why I wanted to set this up a lot sooner, but everything does take time. Okay. Put those away. I don't need those. Actually, I don't even need a sword as well. So let's go back to crafting terminal. Oh, wrong thing. We're going to need a bunch of it to begin with, but for right now, we can do this. Go with one of you. Do I not have just a simple... That's okay. Easy to make. Boom. Boom. Crafting terminal. Now to do the same, we need another ME crafting terminal. A lot of little steps. ME terminal. Another one of you. You know what? I'll make 2 more of you. Just in case. We have another crafting terminal. And then you will become my pattern encoding. And we just have 1 more left to do. Which we have that. And we need to make one of these. Crystallized assembler? Is that what I need to use? Oh. Okay. So that we'll probably hold off on. But I just want to make sure that we're able to run this through, which I need a storage bus as well. ME storage bus. The amount of space in here is getting a little rough. Let's move a couple things over real quick. Okay. I need another one of you. I'm going to need you. And then you can make me an ME interface or an encoder or interface. Yeah, ME interface. And then I just need 2 pistons. Oh, look at that. ME storage bus. So now if I put you here, I'll just place you here. cable running off of you. Can I place my crafting terminal? An ME drive. And can I just run these dense cables over? I need more. It makes more. I mean, I guess they don't have to be dense cables. Do I not have? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, whoa, wait a minute. Can I just run the flux cables then? Into here. And then I need power. Do I have one just laying around that I can use? No? I don't. That's okay. Just make a couple more flux cores. Which is just obsidian, flux dust. I have ender. Flux dust. Take the cores. I have ender and stack of you. Let's make a bunch more of these. Because we're going to need them. So I need a flux point. Never have enough of these. You know what, make 2 of them. Just so we have them. Now, I know for a fact we're going to be choking on power. But we'll look on the next... We'll look at the next episode to dealing more with power. Now, how does that connect? Can I not connect a flux point to Here, I'm going to come right back and we'll figure that out. Alright, so I just went ahead and attached a flux point to this, just so then this is running. And as you can see, all my inventory over there is now in here. Now, I do want to change that up a little bit. Give me a little bit more space. So then, as you can see, all of our items in there are now hooked up in here. Even iron. So everything is now hooked up. Now with that, we also need to make ME drives to be able to basically keep all of our items in there. So let's just go ahead and we'll take all that out. Let's look at what we need to do to start getting storage. So it looks like Certus quartz or charged Certus quartz is going to make 1 ME storage. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to start doing the 4K ones. So we can make 6 of these. And then we'll kind of go from that. So if we're looking at here, let's just make 6 of these for now. And then we'll use regular Certus, because it's just a little bit easier for us. After I put some things away. And I do have this that I could throw items into. So we'll just make 6 for now. And we should be able to pop these in there. And now I should be able to store all my items in there. Okay. I think that's a good start. We got a good start going. At least we have this running. Now this setup is going to go over here. And all of our inscribers are going to go down a level. And majority of all this cabling is going to go down a level as well. But I'm just happy to say that we've got ME set up. We got our terminal. It's looking nice. These will go to higher tiers. Trust me, we're going to need higher tiers for the amount of items that we're going to need. And then I need to look at doing diamond upgrades on all of our chests or all of our functional storage. Just so then we're able to optimize as much of this and not have to use up as much in our actual storage cells. But that's gonna take some time. How's this running? I know with everything, well, at least this is still getting power. That's good to see. One last thing. Let's go check how this has been running. So we're out. 13 wither predictions. So is this what goes in here? Oh. Okay. Wither skulls. It worked. So then we just make more predictions and we've got wither skulls for days. That's amazing. That's what I've wanted to see from the beginning. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Thank you for tuning in. Question of the day is, how quickly into you setting up your builds did you run into, I need more space? Did you go straight into Applied Energistics? Did you go with ours that has their own type of storage? Let me know. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I will catch you all in the next episode where we'll start dibbly dabbling in a lot more creative things. Take it easy, guys.